Most people live trapped in a fixed reality, never realizing that their mind has the power to shape the world around them. What you see as real might just be a mental construct, and those who understand this can completely transform their lives. Since ancient times, spiritual masters have explored the power of imagination to create experiences beyond what the eyes can see. But what if there was a way to use this knowledge to influence your own reality? Tantra isn't just some esoteric practice lost in time. It's a sophisticated way of using the mind to shape reality. It's based on the idea that imagination can be so powerful that it creates tangible experiences. Think about a vivid dream. While you're asleep, your body reacts as if it's really happening. Tantra takes this to a conscious level, where the mind constructs illusions so convincing that even the body responds to them. Great masters use this process to shift perceptions, emotions, and even physical states. If that sounds impressive, just wait until you realize how this technique can influence the people around you. Imagine someone who deeply believes in their own success, not just wishing for it, but feeling as if they've already achieved it. They walk, talk, and act with the confidence of someone who has already won, and guess what? Opportunities start showing up because the world responds to the energy they project. Tantra takes this even further. A practitioner can create such a strong internal reality that others around them begin to perceive it as truth. That's why a guru can guide a disciple without them even realizing it. The mental field they create is so immersive that it becomes irresistible. Have you ever felt influenced by someone just because of their presence or charisma? That's a basic reflection of what Tantra explores on a much deeper level. The most fascinating part. This ability isn't just for great masters. Kids do it all the time without even realizing it. When a little boy pretends to be a superhero, his mind and body align with that experience, and for a few moments, he truly feels invincible. Adults lose this ability because they think they need to stick to what's real. But what if reality was more flexible than it seems? What if you could create an internal world so convincing that others start seeing it too? The answer to that leads to something even more intriguing: the power of imagination to not only influence your own mind, but also the minds of those around you. The human mind is an incredible tool, capable of creating realities that defy logic. In Tantra, this ability is taken to another level, allowing a person to build such a vivid internal world that it begins to shape their perception and the perception of others. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract everything they want? They don't just wish for it, they mentally live the experience before it even happens. That's Tantra in action. When someone masters this technique, their energy and presence become so strong that even the people around them start to feel and respond to the reality they project. This power isn't just abstract, it shapes the emotions and thoughts of those around you. A charismatic speaker can captivate an entire crowd simply by the way they craft their words and expressions. In the same way, a Tantra practitioner can use the mind to create an almost magnetic field of influence. Think about an actor who becomes so immersed in their role that the audience forgets it's just a performance. It's that absolute mental commitment that makes the difference. In Tantra, the inner reality becomes so intense that it spills over into the external world. Have you ever felt chills when someone speaks with deep conviction? That sensation is a direct reflection of the impact a well-focused mind can have. Kids do this naturally. To them, a blanket turns into a superhero cape, and a darkroom transforms into an enchanted forest. But as we grow up, this ability gets smothered by the need to be realistic. What most people don't realize is that this skill never disappears, it just goes dormant. The good news: it can be reawakened and refined. And one of the most fascinating stories about this comes from someone who understood the power of imagination from a young age, Sadhguru. His imaginative world was so vivid that even his own brother got caught up in it. Childhood is a gateway to alternate realities. While adults stay grounded in what's tangible, kids live in worlds created by their own minds. Sadhguru once shared that as a child, his imagination was so intense that not only he, but even his brother started believing in it. He created a world where animals roamed free, and in that fantasy, a rhinoceros became his favorite companion, the most incredible part. To him, this wasn't just play, it was a parallel reality he could step into at any moment. This makes you wonder, what actually makes something real? If the mind can project a scenario so vividly that it influences others, are imagination and reality really that far apart? Sadhguru didn't just imagine his rhinoceros, he saw it, interacted with it, and in a way, made it exist within his perception. Kids do this all the time, whether it's creating imaginary friends or going on epic adventures in their own homes. The difference is that, as they grow up, most people abandon this ability, dismissing it as just a kid thing. But what if this power could be reclaimed and used consciously? People who master the art of visualization understand that the mind can turn any idea into something real enough to change their lives. High-performance athletes mentally train before competitions, seeing themselves winning before they even step onto the field. Great innovators envision their creations long before they exist physically. If a child can create an imaginary world so powerful that others start believing in it, imagine the impact this could have in an adult's life. Now, what if there was a method to channel this ability for deep transformation? In Tantra, transformation happens through immersion, not force. A skilled master doesn't need to tell a disciple what to do. They simply create such an intense energetic field that transformation happens almost inevitably. Just like a well-lit room doesn't need to teach light to someone who walks in, a guru who has mastered this technique can guide someone without them even realizing it. The human mind is highly impressionable, and when exposed to an environment filled with a certain energy, it naturally adapts to that new vibration. This concept might sound abstract, but you can see it play out in everyday life. When someone spends enough time around a confident, determined person, that energy tends to rub off on them. On the other hand, if someone is constantly surrounded by negativity and limitations, their mind naturally adjusts to that environment. Tantra understands this dynamic and uses it to reprogram one's perception of reality. When a person is energetically connected to something powerful, that force begins to manifest within them, influencing their emotions, thoughts, and even actions. This is why so many spiritual practices emphasize the importance of connecting with something greater. It's not just about belief, it's about tuning in. Great masters have always channeled this energy to expand human potential, allowing their disciples to access higher states of consciousness. Just like an actor can fully embody a character until the audience sees them as real, Tantra teaches how to align mind and energy so deeply that the impossible becomes possible. And if there's one place where this wisdom is taken to its highest level, it's in the very essence of Tantra itself. Kailash, the epicenter of energetic transformation. Mount Kailash is not just an imposing geographical structure, it's a point of convergence for those seeking something beyond logical understanding. Within the Tibetan tradition, Tantra is practiced intensely because it recognizes that reality isn't fixed, but a mental and energetic construct. While most people remain trapped in rigid concepts, Tantra practitioners understand that transformation happens by dissolving those barriers. Kailash has become the epicenter of these practices because, according to many accounts, the energies there are highly amplified, making the experience far more vivid. The absence of dogmatic limitations allows Tantra to flourish in this environment. Unlike systems that impose rigid rules, Tantra operates on the idea of unity. There is no separation between the practitioner and the force they seek to access. The energy circulating in Kailash is so striking that even those unfamiliar with these practices often report feeling something unexplainable. There are countless stories of meditators who, after spending time there, emerged transformed, as if an invisible portal had opened within them. This isn't just blind faith, it's an experience lived by thousands over centuries. Just as certain music can evoke specific emotions and certain environments can instantly shift your mood, places like Kailash act as catalysts for those looking to expand their consciousness. Tantra understands that reality isn't fixed, but malleable, and in a place where so many have already accessed these heightened states, the energetic field becomes even more powerful. And if the mind can reshape the way you perceive a place, imagine what it can do with your entire reality. How are you using this power? If the mind can create barriers, it can also break them down. Reality isn't something rigid, it responds to how you perceive it. What you choose to imagine today can become the foundation of what you live tomorrow. So, how are you using this power? If you want to keep exploring this knowledge and transform your life, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.